Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Demi Kiza. I'm here for the second time at a short reloaded. I'm gonna discuss with you some few points. Let's see this. I don't want to be here. I'm gonna be here for really I wanna be as well. Let me know if the voice is okay, if my volume is on, so that we can start. Comrades, thanks for joining me. I normally start right on time. When I come in, I start. I introduce again Demi Kiza as always. Those who knows me, I do share my live show on my profile. And I'm part of a Kyoto Reloaded. I'm a part of any NUP platforms that want change. So today, I want to share with you about 3 topics. I'm going to break them within 10 minutes each, 10 minutes each. And the video will be there for everybody to see. So one of my first points, I'm going to start with a checklist about our comrade, Fred Lumbuye, who went missing 17 days ago. 17 days is too much. Fred left us a gap that we are finding very difficult to close. However, we are doing the best to find Fred Lumbuye. And don't underestimate the work by our shadow foreign minister, Nkunyingi Mwada. The work he's doing is good. His groundwork is evidence. So let me start. Our checklist by now, Fred went missing on 3rd of August, 2021. It is 17 days to today. So our checklist for a start, number 1, we have to start with a crime scene. The address of Fred, do we know it? If they ask you where was Fred living, can you tell them the address, actual post address? So we need to go through this checklist. And second, we need a timeline. When did Fred went missing and until today? His last movement. So we need to trace Fred back. Another checklist. Witness. Who were the witness on the crime scene? Who were the people who saw Fred? So we need to go through this checklist ourselves. Number 4, we need to check the communication. The telephone number, the WhatsApp, the social media, YouTube. Whom did Fred speak to? When did he last check on the YouTube? When was he last on the social media? When was he last on the WhatsApp? When was he last on the telephone, mobile phone, to his friends, to his family in Uganda? We need to look at this checklist. We need to check email. Did he email anybody? Did he access any YouTube? What about the bank? Did Fred withdraw any money from the bank? These are the checklists by now we should have. For me, I'm not going to go through this series. Fred went missing, so and so and so. That is not helping me for now. But for now, I must have a checklist. If I want Turkish government to be involved, if I want Turkey to be involved, this is the checklist they're going to ask me. They are not going to ask me, Demi, so and so and so, did you? No. This is the checklist. And then another checklist we must have is evidence collected. Very important. Did we go to the crime scene? Do we have the identity card for Fred, where he used to work, ID for Turkey? When I was in Turkey, you can buy a 7-week travel card. that you use on the train? Does he have it? Because we can check it. We can take it to the police. They can scan it and they can be told what train station did he access, what bus did he access. So we need to go through these checklists ourselves. By now, 17 days Fred is missing. We should have this on us. Everybody who is looking for Fred Lumbuye, don't step anywhere if you don't have this evidence. 17 days is too much, because we cannot ignore when JJ Odongo said that they are in touch with the Interpol. Whether they are lying or not, we cannot ignore that. If we are going to Interpol, these are the checklists that we need to have. We need to have. I heard Frank Gashumba saying that it is probable Fred is in Uganda. Let people who know Frank Gashumba and ask him, is it true? And then the other evidence we need is legal evidence, legal proceedings. We had Nkunyinji, he met with the Turkish ambassador in Uganda. Nkunyinji came to Turkey. Nkunyinji now has met the British ambassador in Uganda. Nkunyinji, yesterday or day before, he met JJJ Odong and Oriem. So let us not underestimate the work Nkunyinji is doing. It's big and it's very good. And so far, people, they're asking, so and so should make a statement. No, that is not the way it is going to be. We want to move away from the old Uganda, where Museveni speaks, no one else speaks. Museveni speaks about health matters, education, no one else. No, we have to go. Mathias Mpuga is leader of the opposition, is designating these people very well. And we are very lucky we have people who are working on the clock. They are working 24 hours to see that they make their position proud. They make NUP proud. So we should be. And another on our checklist, this is very, very important. By now, we must have a missing report. Missing report. At this moment, we should have a missing report, which says Fred Lumbuye was born on 3rd of June, he's 43, he lives on this address, on this day 3rd, he went missing. Where did he, what happened? Was he in his house? Was he on the way from work? Was he going to work? Was he going to the gym? All that information, that is our checklist. In his house, does anybody has the passport? Comrade Norman has said he's got the passport for Fred Lumbuye. At one time, we shall need it. Then we can still gather all this information in WhatsApp, communication, all that is very, very important. Don't lose any sight. I said to you, there is a lady Ugandan who lives near Fred Lumbuye and saw what happened. Fred Lumbuye had a girlfriend. Fred Lumbuye had a housemate. So all that information is so, so important. So that is my checklist that I brought you. I don't have any update regarding Fred Lumbuye. But for now, he has been missing for 17 days. Let us be realistic. 17 days is too long, I'm telling you. But what we have to do is that we demand Fred Lumbuye dead or alive. Everybody continue doing what you are doing. But I'm telling you, these are the checklists. Somebody who claims that she was there when Fred Lumbuye was taken. Does she remember how Fred Lumbuye was wearing? Can she identify the color of the clothes? The color of the clothes of those people who took away Fred Lumbuye. The vehicle, the color, the number plate. These are the checklist. Any simple matter is important, I'm telling you. Once we have this and we give it to investigator, the Turkish government will cooperate with us. I heard people who say they are not. They will cooperate with us. They are not going to come to us as one person, but they have got institutions which are functioning. We have to start with the police. It is just like if you lose your Ugandan passport, you don't go straight to immigration. You have to go and collect evidence, RC or identification. So we need that. We need Fred Lumbuye dead or alive. But so far, let us not make ourselves amateurs. We have to appear when we are prepared. We have to look into this checklist. It doesn't change wherever you go. This checklist is so important. So second point, we need to test Museveni on his claims when he says that they don't kill, they don't torture, they don't keep people in prison, they don't do what? Let me tell you something. Many people, they say, Museveni, ayogedde tebigenda kubeerawo Museveni era ebyotalina kyakola. No, let me tell you what is happening now. This is my own opinion. Museveni is clearing a path for him to go. Museveni is clearing a path if he ever dies today. Museveni is clearing a path if Muhoozi ever becomes a president. Museveni is clearing a path if he ever being thrown out. Museveni is clearing a path for his children, for his grandchildren. Because at this moment he knows all his family, they are well marked up. People in diaspora, they are spot on. His family is not going to be somewhere very comfortable. Whatever he said this day, 2 days before, on Sunday, he had a point in this. He's protecting his family because he's protecting the money he's getting from the donors, and he's protecting Muhoozi because his case will be called very soon in the ICC. So what is happening now? What is Museveni claiming that we don't beat people? Museveni is claiming, oh, we don't torture people. I watched Museveni and I can't believe it until today. Heartless, emotional, lack of empathy. He's saying run that video, run it, freeze it, without any empathy. But it should be like this. If you are a leader, Museveni should resign. Some people, they are going to laugh. Museveni should have resigned. If he doesn't resign, the IGP should resign, the CDF should resign, all those people who beat up people, they should be apprehended. That is the way to go. I had a very speech yesterday that moved me, that gave me courage. This is a speech from the newly elected Zambian president. The man said, the tear gas us, they beat us, we forgive them. Don't return, don't revenge. And this man said lots of things, the way they are going to deal with their opposition, not as enemies, but as citizens. But he made one of the best statement. I've always said it. You cannot have economic growth when you don't have rule of law in the country. That is what Museveni doesn't know. So this man, 59 years, he stands up and he gave a speech that everybody, and he said to Irungu or Lunga, you are going to be okay. That is what we want to hear. So let us test the words of Museveni. He said Uganda is good on human rights. Let us ask permission to go and demonstrate, and we see his response. We need to test this. We need to take it. Museveni, as for now, NRM government is weak, is waiting to be taken out. But we have to take it. Sometimes it's not going to come in the wholesome, it's going to come by peace and peace. So however, we have to stand and take whatever is given us. If he says NRM government, ideology, I don't know why he calls this ideology, they don't beat people. No, they beat people. That is true. Let us compile a report. And our move should be to release with the leader opposition, to ask the MPs to lobby this into the parliament, to see that it's being put into practice, that people, they are not beaten up, any police who torture, people in the prison. By the way, Uganda has got the worst human rights. The report by Human Rights Uganda was top 3 in Africa. Every year, Uganda is always in the top 3. Yesterday, my manager was telling me, how comes Uganda is taking in Afghan refugee when refugees from Uganda, they are all over everywhere. So it is not on. It is not on. Let us test Museveni's word. He said, okay, I'm not going to do this. We don't torture people. You don't torture people. When he was looking at the images, he did not condemn. The police was there. The problem with Museveni, Bobby Wine has said it. He rewards those people. You know, we have to learn the trend of Museveni. He is condemning a little bit massaging, but he's not apprehending them because he knows these people tomorrow is going to tell them to beat you up. Actually, it was embarrassing to hear Museveni say that. But in another way, it was overdue. This is why I'm telling you, Museveni is clearing a path. Is clearing a path for himself, for his family, because not so long Museveni will leave power, trust me or not. So he can see that temperature, atmosphere in the community. He's trying to put water down onto people because they are demanding. They are people, they are fed up. People, they are brutalized. We've got parents. We've got children. They don't have either one parent or two children. We have women, they have lost their husbands. We have husbands, they have lost their wives. Friends, we have lost so many people. We have people in Ichitaria. We have people who are missing. Uganda is going in a genocide. And Museveni claims that they don't do this, they don't do this. This is what's so cunning. Museveni, if you are listening or you ever listen, that was not right, what you did, what you said. Follow those words by action. You resign yourself because you are the leader of the country that buys guns. You are the leader of the country who prays one day that Bobby Wine was dealt with very well. You are the leader of the country who said that you will crush National Unity Platform. And he said it's not allowed in our constitution. But if it's not allowed, how comes our constitution says multi-party? Uganda is no under a single political party, but it is a multi-party. And why would you say you can crush NUP? Fellow Ugandans, comrades, we have to test Museveni. We have to test him when he says, okay, Uganda, let us test him and we see what statement he's going to say. Let us ask him permission to demonstrate, or we need to test it somewhere. Let our members of parliament go into the parliament, lobby the parliament, say, let them challenge this word. The law which started by Mbabazi, oh dear, the POMA. Let us test it. It was banned. Part C was banned, and then the government appealed. So let us test. Let us ask MPs to go back into the parliament and challenge it. If he says they don't torture people, police don't beat, army don't beat, we don't have medication, you are buying weapons. Children are not going to school, you are buying weapons. Civil servants are not being paid on time, you are buying weapons. We don't have vaccine for COVID, you are buying weapons. So let us test him. Let us test Museveni of his claim when he says they don't torture, they are good on human rights. We need to test him. Council Wameli applied for some of the people, 74 people in prison, to be given emergency bail. They said no, they will not give it to them because blah, blah, blah. So we need to test him at all levels. And we need to have diaspora people coordinating, writing to our immigration shadow minister to see that when people, they go back to Uganda, they are not persecuted. They are not being caught up. They are not being beaten. That is how we need to test the word of Museveni. We cannot go with him toe to toe with the guns, but we can come up with these strategies. Let us test his word. Don't leave it. Don't leave it for weeks. The moment Museveni said it on Monday, NUP should have now, should be flooded. Get the names, get this lawyer, challenge it in the parliament, get demonstration, challenge this, because Museveni, you said it. So that, for me, that would be, I don't see it. When somebody like Museveni says a word, you don't see it, because at this moment they are still. The people, when they come to this stage to capture Fred Lumbuye, to make Fred Lumbuye headline, you know they have run out of what to do and they don't have anything to do. So we need to test them. And fellow Ugandans, I'm crying to you. It is we to test Museveni. It's we to put him on the gunshot. It's we to put them on the back foot. Fortunately, they have never seen any opposition like they have seen before, like of today. So we need to do this ourselves until we get on the gun. And I said to you, we need to start the word multitask. Fred is, for now, is somewhere. We don't know, dead or alive. But we need to know that we are going to demand Fred Lumbuye 24 hours. 24 hours. But we need to be doing other things, multitask. We need to be, because right now a lot is going on. I was watching live when the examinations of senior six were being read. And this man, every 1 or 2 words, he kept on saying, yes, mama, yes, mama. And I posted, I said, why are you calling her yes, mama? Janet Museveni is a Minister of Education. He's a civil servant. She gets 15 million per month. There is no reason she should be called yes, mama, yes, mama. I couldn't believe it. I come to my third point. The third point is about first step to education. Fellow Ugandans, let me tell you, we come to a standstill. Education is so important. Education should be a foundation where you build a country. Education is the first priority. Education comes closer to my heart because I'm quite involved in education in Uganda, in my village where I come from. So we need to look into this. Janet Museveni, we know she has got senior 2, academic, whatever. She lacks plan. She doesn't know what to do. She hasn't tried, but there is always options you have to try. Let me give you a background. Uganda education is more reliant about its delivery. They have got boarding schools. They have got private schools. But as for now, that is not going to come because of pandemic. Our children, they are home. Should they not study? How are they going to cope up? Those who were in primary 7, where do we take them? And those in primary 6, they have caught up. So what is our first step? This is my own, I would like people to correct me because I'm not a teacher, but it's something that I'm interested in. My first step to education should be a change of educational curriculum. Janet Museveni, they changed the education curriculum. I read it. It doesn't make any sense. Education curriculum, there you look about 5 or 6 items, but I'm not going to go into details because I set up time to finish. So we need to change education curriculum for Uganda because education provision in Uganda has been through mostly private and then boarding school. So my number 1, I'm going to scrap boarding schools for some reason, because COVID is more the contamination to infect your COVID is about closing. When people, they are closer and closer. So that is no longer possible. And our boarding school, as we speak, they have got decades, 4 decades of each. How are you going to protect the children from COVID? So what we see, we have to look at education curriculum. And the number one, I'm going to scrap boarding schools, and I'm going to replace them with something else. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to scrap boarding schools. So what do? Scrap boarding schools. I'm going to recall all teachers, either to come back in their boarding schools or to stay in their community. Number three, I'm going to have testing kits for the teachers. Why am I calling teachers? Number four, I'm going to ask all these teachers to prepare materials for the children. And then number five, I'm going to introduce universal fees for these materials. It is shameful that Kapshega was given 54 billions to prepare education materials, and he didn't. So until today, we don't have it. Minister of Education went back in the parliament and she couldn't explain why she wanted to get the materials. What happened to the money which was given? So for me to bring a new educational curriculum, I'm going to bring universal fees for the materials, which is affordable. Those which are not affordable, I'm going to ask the government to top up. If I was Janet, it would be easy. My husband is the president. We saw Muhoz just wrote a note, and billions and billions were given away. So I would put there universal fees, either 10,000, either other people to be given free based on their income, so that now these materials, the teachers, I recall, they come back in school. They are being tested every day or every week. They prepare these materials for these children to be dispersed. And now procurement is coming in. So when I come to that, to restructure, I'm going to restructure the learning system. We need to restructure the learning system. Problem in Uganda, people, they study about 12, 15 subjects. Irrelevant. It's not fit for purpose. But what do? I'm going to restructure the learning system. And I'll give every student 30% as a starting for their previous year. If the schools were closed in 2021, in 2020, I'll give every student, every pupil, 30% for that year. How am I going to recover that? Because I said a new educational curriculum, I'm going to make that pupils and children, they have 5 subjects. Only 5. 16 is irrelevant. So I'm doing a career path for the children. I'm doing a career path that instead of a child to learn about 10 subjects, to learn about the king of Uganda, the king of France, the king of what, it is irrelevant. You know what a child, when you go in senior 6, you go there by 3 subjects, but I'm making them 5. I had this one from my experience from my children. I'm giving them 5 because when I give them 5, if after 2 years they change, they can be in a better position. So Janet, I'm telling you and I'm helping you. So I'm making 5 mandatory subjects for every child because I want them to recover a year they have lost. So if I give them 5 subjects, which they are easier and comfortable, I'm going to be able to bring in another subject that they can add on. Maybe there will be 6, and I'll give them per term. You have to meet that subject. Like we are doing e-learning. So in Uganda, what we see, so after that, what am I going to do? For all these who cannot, I can look into community resources. Where I live, community resources, they are very, very important. You can't be that you're a Muslim, that you can't go in a mosque. All these community resources, they are being used. The church halls, the mosque halls, anywhere, sports center. We need, in Uganda, where I come from, there are football pitches. We can use them as a makeshift learning. That children, they can come from their village, Lusaka, Mese, and meet in a football wherever. If they don't have money to pay for materials, they don't have money to pay for internet. So join, pick them up, put them in a football pitch, 100 of them, make them 2 meters, 2 meters, and maybe bring teachers to teach them. And it's not good to put them too many. Make 10, 10, 10. 10 student, 10 student, 10 student, 10 student. So where we stand for now, Uganda Ministry of Education, they were given 94 billion for education, 94 billion US dollars after we had to help children study from home. That money, if I had it, they should have used it for the internet provision. Then they should have used it for learning materials. At this moment, when they are in lockdown, we have to make education a little bit fun for people. We have to make them simple. So what we have to do is to employ teachers to teach children in their area. There is no point of coming to boarding school. But to get this, to get the best, we need to motivate teachers. And how do you motivate them? A good pay. So I would look at remuneration, because this is what we want. We cannot sit down and watch when our children, they are at home, they are getting pregnant. Our children, they are being abused. Our children, they are getting married. I had my nephew was given a girl to marry. The father said, I cannot pay. I said, how can that be? So we need to look into this. Where we stand in Uganda, it's like nothing is impossible, but everything is possible. I'm telling you, fellow Ugandans, it's possible if we put our mind there. The problem, we haven't tried. So as we look for today, we look at 17 days Fred is missing. This is what Fred wanted to speak about. This is Fred wanted to speak about the new Uganda. So we need to keep on demanding for Fred Lumbuye, but we need to talk about things to progress our country, because we are not going to be with a country with a gap of 4 years that children, they were not at school because there was a lockdown, because the Minister of Education had no idea. We need to present these ideas and we see if they are practical, but I'm sure they are practical. Problem, Janet hasn't got a clue. All they know is to keep children. Parents in Uganda, I'm begging you, stop putting your children as if they are not your children. Keep them home. Keep an eye on them. Let us get teachers. Instead of buying bikes, you give them to them for NRM campaign. Let us get those bikes. Let us give those bikes to the teachers. Let us give them border, motorcycle, that teachers, they can be able to traverse their village. We have so many people in their villages. There is no reason we are looking somewhere. Put them on the border, or give them a border. Instead of giving these artists 9.4 billion, why don't you give this money to the teachers? If you don't have a teacher, how are you going to have a good economy, good health? How are you going to have good leaders? We are all products of teachers at one stage to another. Not because that when you go to school you become exception, but you are more aware of what is going on. You have a little bit of knowledge. There is a debate of people saying that when somebody comes and speaks in English, that understands very well. No, it's not true. It is about sharing information across. I met so many people who come with excuse, I cannot watch that because it's in Uganda. So I'm removing the excuse. And it's no, I cannot be careless to say you don't matter, you matter, you don't matter. No, every little thing helps. We need to be diverse. We need to go across because we are beggars. Beggars, they don't have choice. So, fellow Ugandans, for me, I'm not going to have much in and out about Fred Lumbuye. 17 days, they are good enough to tell me something is not right. Something is not right. However, you want to move forward. You cannot move forward without your checklist. Trust me. You must have your checklist, for goodness sake. Let me repeat it. Checklist, timeline, crime scene, home. Was he home? Was he public? Was he going from work? Was he going gym? Give that detail. Last, where Fred was. Witness, who were the people on the scene? Girlfriend, neighbor, housemate. Witness. Communication. Did anybody speak to Fred in the last hours? WhatsApp, social media, email. Let us access his Facebook, YouTube, and see when he last access to that. Evidence collected. Have you got his ID badge? Travel card, legal proceedings. Nkunyinji has collected a lot. Have we got the missing report? Who saw Fred? How was he wearing? How was Fred wearing? Who are these people who picked him? The vehicle, the color, this nitty grit. Did you see something suspicious? Then we can ask for CCTV camera. CCTV camera can help us. Who are these people? Did Fred speak to somebody on Monday that he was in trouble? Can we take that information on board? And fellow Ugandans in Turkey, let me say this again. Somebody has told you, when there is danger to life, no one can ask you about your immigration status. When there is danger to life, no one is going to ask you about your immigration status. You can even pick up phone and you say, sir, Fred is missing, was living here and here. No one is going to ask you. They can ask you, who are you? Just say Demikiza. Details. They are not going to ask you about your immigration status. Because even if you are deported, if you are a witness, they will come for that witness. So stand up and be counted. Stand up, give any information, go to the police, volunteer, have your police report. Because if Turkish government, they are not replying to us, we are going to hold them accountable. What has happened to Fred, whether he comes dead or alive, it will never happen again, fellow Ugandans. It will never happen again. The money we have collected, that money will be decided, but we can even use it to pursue the case further and further. So Fred, somewhere, somehow, we will find out. We don't know when. It is now 17 days. We need to keep him in our prayers, but we need to fill up the gap that Fred has left. This gap Fred has left, that people, they have gone quiet. I was talking about employment, I stopped. Other people, yes, they are going. So we need to fill up the boots. And also we need now to prepare in advance that whenever we have something to do, we have a substitute. Let us be like a football team or a netball team, that you always have a substitute. We have a substitute there. What has happened? The friend went and then we just gone quiet. But we know what Fred wants and we know what we want. We want change. Change from Museveni, who says he doesn't kill, he doesn't keep people longer than in prison, he doesn't want. We want change of that. We don't want Museveni. So we want him out. Fellow Ugandans, I thank you very, very much. But also, I say this again, Nkunyinji has done a very big job. Zake did, because he gave us uplift, because he's a leader. Wameli we were comfortable because he's a leader. NUP, we are just like Ferrari, that way we are cruising. We are doing we are up to the scratch. Nkunyingi is doing a lot of good work. It is naive to criticize him. It's naive not to understand what he's doing. Because end of the day, when the international community they want to help us, they're going to use Nkunyingi report and they will put down Turkey. How could this man, shadow foreign, come to you and you don't attend to him? So it's going to be significant. So I thank our shadow minister cabinet, what they are doing. So, and we are hoping for the best every day. So for me, I'm not going to talk about the nitty gritty. I'm looking at this checklist. Do I have it? I might add on something tomorrow. Do I have it? Do I have it? That is where we are going to start. And for all what we want to do, we have to go with this checklist. Do you have it? Let us talk about who saw Fred on Sunday. We saw him on live. He was wearing a top. Did he change it on Monday? Did he go out? Did Fred go in a supermarket? To be honest, the girlfriend, better come and say something. Come and say he was dressed like this in the morning. He had this. We need to go into that. Thank you very much. I'll come back again. Demikis, as always. I thank you very much. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. We shall meet again. I always read your comments and I always reply your comments. Whether it's negative, it's not bad because I'm not perfect. If it is positive, thank you very much. If it's a query, I reply according to my best knowledge. I'm not the best, but I put up myself to be tested. That is what I want. So I have to go in about 20 minutes. I have to go to work. Not very nice, but I have to. Salutes. People power, our power, our power, people power. NUP everywhere, everywhere. NUP. Jejo.